Kev, Mr. Hamilton, Brooklyn Eagle, city champ, did that state thing, been so competitive and so dominant in the Brooklyn district the last few years. You've seen so many realms through high school, collegiate, pro level, whether overseas. Once you're a pro, you're a pro. Explain how everything you've seen through basketball has brought you into coaching and what you have learned that you can teach these kids and have been teaching them over the last few years at Eagle Brooklyn Academy.
That's a great opening question. I think I've been fortunate, man. I've had a lot of experience in the game. Played high school here at Malloy, played collegiately in Holy Cross in Massachusetts, played professionally for 10 years. I actually got into coaching pretty randomly. That wasn't my intention. A friend of mine from college, Javi, his brother was the principal at Eagle Academy. That's how the connection was made. Initially, I know you rattled off the accomplishments, and that's been really cool, but it was really just to talk about the purpose of this. It was about teaching accountability, teaching discipline. Those are the things that the game really taught me.
And you can't leave here today until you sign up for October 25th, the Fall Brawl in December. Also at Springfield. Thomas is not going to leave you. And then after that, I have nothing else to say.
So, yeah, that's basically what I like. Out of all the things that I've gained through the game, and I've been really fortunate, discipline, accountability, the stuff that transcends the game is the stuff that I really want to transfer to the kids.
I saw you randomly. We was in a Lifetime in Long Island before you started coaching at Eagle Brooklyn, and you was going through your journey, finishing playing overseas. You know, just working out and kind of going through that process. What was the mindset before you came into coaching? What were you thinking about doing after playing professionally overseas?
Like I mentioned, my friend connected me to his brother. I was networking with Holy Cross alums, trying to look into different industries I might be interested in. I didn't find much, to be honest with you. And what he told me, it wasn't to work at Eagle. It was like, you can use the gym to work out, but if you're interested in education, just talk to my brother. So that's kind of how that came to be. I was in the building, started to mentor a couple kids. I saw the influence, you know, you can have with the younger generation. Everybody wants to play ball. Everybody wants to play football. They're all interested in your story. And seeing that you can get to a kid, particularly in the demographic of kids that I was working with, seemed like I could live a meaningful life, an impactful life, something I could be passionate about.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I got into it, for real.
Well, you speak about passion. What did you fall in love with basketball, per se?
I mean, I think at the time when I was coming up, where I was coming up, it was almost unavoidable. My father was a basketball player. Played at Iona College, had a Hall of Fame career there. My earliest memories, you know, I lived in South Jamaica initially, Rufus King houses. My earliest memories of seeing how people received my father outside because he played ball, being in the park. It was a lot more engaging environment. So I was drawn to ball since a little kid. Fell in love with it early. It was an organic love, you know. To be able to play at the level that me and H played, you have to love the game, right? Because the amount of work that goes into it, you're not going to do it unless you love it. So that's how that came about.
Playing in the Catholic school system, right? Us growing up in the same era and everything like that. One of my boys, Chris Haynes, he used to big you up all the time at high school. One of your friends, one of your people who always used to speak, yo, my boy Kevin Hamilton. So like Kevin's a better shooter than you, AJ. He's a better, like he always used to say these things. So shout out to my boy Chris Haynes. That's how I actually became to know you as well, other than us playing in different leagues and tournaments. What's that difference between playing in that Catholic school scenario and playing in public school? What do you think Catholic school did for you that public school couldn't?
I think it's a different time, honestly. Like back then, just from like a resource standpoint, Catholic school so far had public school. I think that gap is not the same anymore. At that time, and even previous to me, I would say pretty confidently the Catholic League was the best in the country.
100%.
So you wanted to play against that level of competition. Yeah. So that's what it really drawn to me, being able to play for Coach Kern as well. But it was really the level of competition, the level of coaching at that time. I don't think it's the same situation now. Obviously, Catholic League is great. Stepanak is waving the flag for the city. Yeah. But I think that gap has closed.
Being a shooter, Queens, not really like a, you know, I always say not a shit talker and somebody just come and play the game. When did you realize that you was a really good basketball player?
I think there's like levels to that. high school, my senior year, over the summer, I played really well. I had a level of confidence. My senior year, I was, all-city player from Malloy on a nationally ranked team, so that led to confidence. But it really wasn't until I was put through fire in college and I was held to a standard by a coach that I got to a level that I didn't even know I was capable of. That's another thing that inspires me to be a coach, because I know the impact that a coach can have on someone's life. I wasn't like a highly touted kid. My junior year, I didn't average a lot of points. And so going into college, I was happy to get a
Holy Cross.
Oh, this is in the Patriot League.
Patriot League,
Patriot League.
Liberty. And
Yes, okay.
No, it's like Bucknell,
okay.
Boston University, stuff like that.
Malloy. Going from Malloy.
High school.
Going from Malloy to Holy Cross, right? And breaking records. Like, you went there and went crazy, right? 4 years there. Had a workout with the Celtics, right? Did you feel like you really had a real shot? Because with me personally, I went to Sacramento State, led them in scoring, broke the records, and I had workouts with the Sacramento Kings. I felt like they had to do it. Other than them, I didn't feel like I really had a shot at making that team. I think they did it because I was the best player at Sacramento State and Sacramento Kings. We have no baseball team, no major league, no football team, no NFL team. When making a game winner, I'm going to cover the Sac B. So they had to give that person a shot. So did you really feel like when the Celtics gave you the opportunity that it was a real shot, or no?
When I graduated, I had 3 workouts. I worked out with Denver, Memphis, and Boston.
Mm-hmm.
At the time, my agent felt that Boston was my best shot to go to the league because they didn't have guards, he said. Right? Memphis, I forgot who they had at the time. I got to camp, and by the time I reported to Summer League, they had signed Sebastian Telfair, traded for Rajon Rondo, brought in Allen Ray, re-signed Delonte West. It was
Different
like,
life. A different life. Everything just changed really quick.
By the time I landed, it went from the best situation to the worst situation. But I felt like I made a good impression. Let me not say Summer League because it's mini camp before Summer League.
Yeah.
When we got there, it was 30 people. They made cuts every other day. I was fortunate enough to make the Summer League team, but Danny Ainge told me before we left, you're not going to play that much. I thought I had a shot initially. Through the process, I realized that it may not be the situation that works out for me, but it was a great experience still. I was able to meet with professional teams when I was at Vegas in Summer League. I was signed to go to Poland by the time I returned home, so it ended up working out.
Did you feel like you was a professional NBA player at that time? Did you feel like you could play in the league? When I finished up at Sacramento State, I really felt like I was one of the best players in the world. Leading a Division I program and scoring separates you from a lot of different people. When you're on that platform, it's just more or less, even now, say in today's game where it's the name, image, and likeness, people are just playing at different schools. It doesn't matter the name anymore because they're getting paid. You actually said something to me. We were at MBPA camp, and you were like, you would not have finished your career at Sacramento State. What's your take on that now? How do you feel like the NCAA has effects on high school basketball right now?
I try not to be like the disgruntled old hooper. I'm honestly happy for all the kids that are able to change their lives. I got kids that I've coached that are making money, and deservingly so. And it probably should have been some form of this for a long time. The money part of it is really not the part that disturbs me. It's the mentality part. Like the way that kids approach the game now, I think it's about what it could get you instead of having a passion for it and loving it. In my experience, coaching and watching, the kids that love the game end up getting the most out of it. My concern is about what type of men and females this is creating, more so than how much more money they're making than us in college. Because I think some of the moves lead to a weakened mentality, stuff that they should be fighting through, they run away from, and less levels of accountability. I mean, it's a lot, but it is what it is. There's no sense of complaining about it.
Also, what was your mindset about basketball? Like, when it came to playing, I know for me, basketball was like life. It was what I loved to do. Who introduced you to basketball, and how was that process of even playing basketball for you?
My father introduced me to it, probably not even intentionally, just, watching him play in the parks and stuff like that as a kid. In my building, there was a guy named Jamal Robinson, who's another Queens legend. He's actually on the staff of Old Dominion right now. played at Clancy, went to Virginia, played in NBA for a couple years. So like I was surrounded by it, but I was a pretty strange kid. I wanted to play ball more than anything. I didn't care much about hanging out with girls or the other things that kids my age were more interested in. My day would consist of going to the park and being there all day. Jamaica Park, Braddock Park, PS 18, until the sun came down. I have a deeper level of appreciation for the game, not just because how much I love it, but how much it gave to me, how much I learned through it, and now still having purpose through the game and teaching kids.
Absolutely. Head coach, Eagle Academy, Brooklyn. You know, one thing, you know, you see me and H2O, we were fighting like medieval times over Long Island and Queens. But one thing that we can definitely agree with New York, in New York City and state, there are a lot of really good basketball players all over. You know, Westchester County, Long Island, Queens, the 5 boroughs, so on and so forth. How do you instill, you know, you talked about your pops, Iona, MAC Conference, I'm pretty sure he probably scored over 1,000 there.
Sure.
How do you matriculate that toughness as a New York player to your high school players now, especially with the level of success that you've had at Eagle for the last few years?
I think it all comes down to like the foundation of your program has to be the culture. Like how you prepare these guys every single day in a practice setting, how they conduct themselves in the classroom, just instilling the level of discipline, accountability, and toughness comes from repetition. You have to make practices more difficult than games. Make the kids uncomfortable. A lot of times, you know, especially today, there's resistance to that.
Yes.
From kids for sure, from parents sometimes. But, you know, fortunate enough, we've had some special kids in our program, and once they've gotten through that process, once you see the benefits of it, it becomes a habit. It's not hard work anymore. It's just what you do. So it's like really holding the kids to a standard.
You talked about something as well, too, with your teaching.
Yeah.
Your mom was a teacher.
Yeah.
And that instilled with you with teaching. I can just tell from Kevin, just hearing so many stuff. Your Eagle Academy, Brooklyn. Brooklyn high school kids can be tough, and they can have strong personalities. How do you still implement, I don't want to say discipline, I don't know if that's the right word, but structure to let them know that, you know, of course the basketball court, you know, because Eagle Academy, I think all the Eagles in general, that's to me, but Eagle Academy Brooklyn is a strong.
It's different.
I mean, it's a strong, good culture there. And it just, even with the football team, like I have one of my little nephews that's playing on the football team over there, and the culture down there, for what they call the nest, down there is keep that. You're well-mannered, you're structured as well too, but going overseas and all that, being around NBA guys, being around Danny Ainge, these are some of the things I'm pretty sure that slowly you instill to the kids, that it's not just your Instagram name, it's not how many friends like you, there's a million people that are quietly probably watching you. If you want to get to that next level, how are you instilling these messages for these young kids, for the PSLs and Brooklyn in general?
Yeah, I think it just comes down to maintaining a standard for your program. There's going to be super talented kids that may come in through our program that may be accustomed to a certain type of treatment somewhere else. New York in particular is a crazy place with the basketball. There's a lot of people tugging and pulling at kids. So naturally a kid will go to the path of least resistance, the guy that will probably not hold them to the same standard every day. I think what we try to do at Eagle is just not compromise that. Like trying to make sure that we hold that line, make sure that we keep the main thing, the kids' development, what type of character they leave with, what their mentality is going to be when they leave our school. You know, that can't be compromised no matter how talented the kid, no matter how much you could be ridiculed for it, because it's for the greater good of the kid, ultimately.
Having such early success for Eagle, not coaching for so many years, winning 2 PSL championship, I give you that second one, you know, even though whatever, you know, how do you stay like level-headed without kind of like, you know, getting too big-headed and thinking about, you know, hey, I won 2 PSL championships and things like that. Like, what keeps you motivated and level-headed during that process?
Yeah, I think I'm fortunate that I've already had a lot of basketball experiences. Like, my career is over. So I don't see this as something that is mine. right? This isn't my journey. This is the kids' journey. And even beyond that, like I mentioned, when I made that connection with those kids when I first came to the school, I'm thankful. I have gratitude towards the game for everything that we've experienced. I have gratitude for everything that is given me. When I made the connection with the kid, I have gratitude for that because I feel like a lot of people struggle when basketball career is over, trying to find something that they're passionate about. I'm really thankful that I found something so quickly. My ego is not tied to winning with 16-year-old boys. My ego is tied to my integrity, like what type of guy I present myself as in front of these kids. If the stuff that I'm demanding of them, am I a reflection of that? You know what I mean? So it's inspiring to me because I have to hold myself to a standard. If I tell these kids no N-word, no cursing, I can't do it. So I found purpose through the game. I don't think I could ever get big-headed because I'm too appreciative to it.
What's the best advice you've ever got from somebody, and who was that person?
When I first started coaching, my agent found out that I was going to enter into that, and he got me a meeting with Bobby Hurley. And I learned a lot in that conversation. It was about 20 minutes. I met him in the gym. He was doing a coaching clinic. One thing he said to me that's always stood out was, if you listen to the people in the stands, you'll end up sitting with them. I thought that was, if you have an intuition, if you feel something, you have to move forward with it. It could be the wrong decision, but I'd rather live with my wrong decision than be influenced by something else because I'm concerned about what other people may think or say.
What's a play that you like made a mistake and you're like, damn,
this will never happen again? But we played boys and girls at Boys and Girls. This is early in my coaching career. It was a super close game. We're down 2 points. We're taking the ball at the sideline. Boys and Girls was playing man-to-man all game long. So I drew up the Ruth Lovelace, and she messed me up.
Ruth. We got to get you on the pod, Ruth.
Definitely.
Ruth Lovelace, absolutely.
Damn near all the Elite 32s, holiday classics.
Quince Doobie.
Legend.
Lee Bradley. Yeah.
That's the team we were playing.
With Khalil, ISO Fam K?
Yep. This is that game. Him and his kid, Zaire Williams.
Wow.
Who went to Wagner, currently is at Mercer. They were going at it. So I drew up the best play of my life. I'm so confident. Like, we're about to score. This was my last time out. We come out into the court, and they're in a 2-3 zone. I'm scrambling, trying to point kids into spots. Like, you go there. It was a bad shot. Ruined the possession. But I learned that, like, now when we come out of timeout, now when we go into a game, we have a play for any type of situation we could see. My guys, I'll never be unprepared like that again. So that play still sticks out in my mind.
Eric Acker.
Yes,
Remember that young man?
Of course.
LIU Brooklyn transfers at LaSalle now?
LaSalle. Yeah, he's going to have a big year.
Brooklyn. You still
junior year now?
He's a junior year, right?
Yeah.
He tore it up freshman year and then transferred out and doing well. Do you still keep in contact with a lot of those kids a part of the program?
I talked to Eric yesterday. I was up at LaSalle this summer to check on him, met with the new coaching staff. So Eric had to make a decision.
In A10?
In A10.
Temple and all them? A lot of fights down there. Them schools down there, I tell you, boy.
That's a fact.
They're in the Pennsylvania area. LaSalle, Penn, Temple, all of them.
Penn is
St. Joe's is Atlantic 10. I think Dayton. Is Dayton a part of that too? There's some really competitive schools in there, bro.
It's a really tough conference.
Yeah. Duquesne, maybe, all of them.
I was up there this summer. There's a new coaching staff there, so he had to make the decision if he was going to stay or not.
Did you wind up staying?
You know what I'm saying? I mean, all these kids, I'm in constant communication with them. It's actually starting to get a little overbearing.
I was going to ask you that. Like, again, as a former Division I player who, did you lead your team, who led their team in scoring, how do you feel about the NIL deals currently? Are you that person who feels like we've paved the way for that, or is like, damn, I wish I could have got some funds from hooping?
I got some funds, for sure. I remember, and me and my friend Tori Thomas talk about this all the time. They were selling out jerseys in the bookstore.
We were in video games. We were in March Madness. Didn't get anything. Our jerseys without our names on the back.
Yeah,
right?
You're definitely mad about this,
Well,
huh?
I am. When it comes down to other former collegiate players, I'm like, they have to give us something.
You know what differences do you guys see in the game with the kids now compared to back then? But I guess that's one of the money is one of the biggest things. That's the difference, right?
How do you even tame these players now? Like, when you're getting paid and you're a Division I athlete, like the coach he's a sheep now. Like,
Yeah,
because
at some level,
you're getting paid as a player, you're getting paid more than the coach. So why am I going to listen to you? I think the NCAA needs to put some rules, and even if you leave a school, that school has to trade somebody of equal value back for you. Like, something has to give, because you can't.
But you know,
just
H2O, it's sad that they waited that long, because this is, I think, what they're doing now, right? With the whole starting phase.
I could have been a multi-millionaire.
It's sad that it's happening now. They've had 25, 30, 40 plus years to experiment this, because we've talked about this somehow, some way. A lot of people have been getting money in basketball for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Maybe at the smallest periods of the games, we're not going to say that's the purest, but once you got 16, 17, 18 or above, and if you were decent in basketball, you've seen a perk or a benefit.
Allegedly.
The NCAA has failed for years. It's sad that they're starting this now, and it's the trial and error process. Hopefully they figure these things out and get it better, but it's just sad.
I was like two separate points that you guys just brought up. What can the NCAA do? I would shout out my guy Mark Williams. He came up with an idea I thought was great. That, like, you know how the soccer system is? That, like, if you get a guy from a club, you have to pay that club a certain amount of money, like buyout type clauses. Because right now, the mid-majors are the ones that are getting hit the hardest. Like, you develop a kid, he has a great season, you essentially just prepared him to make money somewhere else. I think there should be a buyout clause for kids. The guy, if you're at Kansas or Duke or something, you have the money and you take the kid, you have to compensate the school for that. And for the point that you were talking about the differences, I was talking to my boy Eves. You know Eves.
Yeah, Eve. Nike?
Yes.
Yeah,
I was talking to my boy Eves.
Shout out to Eves.
That's my guy. And we were just talking about, like, and this is something I'm confronted with, right? I think as a culture, and where Eagle Brooklyn has become pretty...
H2O, you see how we always get back to that word? Culture.
Absolutely.
We are culture.
In my school now, we've created a pretty big platform. You have to have a certain amount of integrity with this and how you approach kids and make sure that you hold them to a standard. Like I said, a lot of people that are in the game now are trying to benefit from kids, and it's kids that are not learning the lessons that they need to learn for life or to play at the next level. And I think money has ruined that to some extent. I think the adults that are involved in the game have to, take a hard stance on this and make sure that we're preparing the kids, and that's what's paramount to us more than anything else.
Kev, you're so reserved and humble but strong with your words at the same time. So I'm trying to find a good... What kind of impact or legacy do you want to leave on Eagle or on the Brooklyn or basketball in general for the next 10 to 20 years? What is the message you want instilled for every generation coming up in basketball and life in general?
Yeah, I think I just want to be able to make an impact. I mentioned before, my college coach, I really feel like he saved my life.
H2O was a bad kid.
He was?
Thomas doesn't have time for that.
What happened?
Go ahead, Kev.
I know the impact that a coach can have on someone's life through my personal experience. It shaped the way I approach everything. My mentality as a coach is the same as my mentality as a father, the same as any aspect of my life. I feel like he prepared me for anything because of a mentality that was instilled. My legacy, I hope to be that I assisted in instilling that mentality in as many kids as I can. And so that has a lot less to do with basketball than people may think. I know the lasting impact that a coach can have on someone's life, that's really what I would love my legacy to be. Guys, thinking back at that time, as a transformational period for them where they understood how to approach adversity, how to approach life, and be prepared for all the things that they're going to see moving forward.
Being a girl dad, your daughter plays basketball. I've reffed her a couple years ago out in New Jersey. How is that? Like, whether pushing her too hard or trying to get her to compete, I'm sure you had a young boy, like a boy, would you be able to push him a little bit harder, or you feel like you're giving her all that you can give her? How is she doing right now, and where is she at?
She's doing great. She had an amazing summer. She just got MVP. Well, my oldest, they both play ball, and they're both doing great. But my oldest just got MVP of a preseason tournament.
What year is she right now?
She's going to be a junior this year.
Okay, yep.
So she plays at Holy Cross. I think she's going to be, the leader of her team. But I try to find a balance. It's not easy. I'd rather her have been interested in soccer or something I didn't know much about. So I try not to be the parent in the stands that's, LeVar Ball.
Wait,
I'm there and she sees my faces and
Yep.
we interact through our body language through the game. But I'm really proud of her because myself, I feel like she came to this organically. She loves the game. She always wants to be outside working on games. She asked me to work out, which I love. She handles criticism well, and she plays really hard. So when you have that combination of characteristics, if she continues to work, it'll just be a matter of time before she's successful in it. So I'm proud of her, and my youngest daughter is into it too. She thinks she's Kyrie Irving already. But it's been a cool experience.
So what has fatherhood done to you? Me being a new dad, I know what it's done for me right now, like how it's kind of made me push me more and made me want more out of life, and it gave me more of a purpose out of life. What has it done for you?
I've been at it a much longer time. Like my daughter was born, I was in my young 20s. I think what fatherhood did to me was just give me perspective, right? Like what's really important, what's not important, the value of time. Right? My daughter is 16, and I remember when she was a baby. Just keeping things in perspective at all times, appreciating the moments, try to create experiences for them that we'll always be able to cherish. And then obviously as a man, like you want to represent the type of man that you're going to want her to be attracted to, or the certain traits that she has to look for. So it's like another person to hold you to a standard. It's an accountability partner. As soon as you wake up, you have these responsibilities. You have someone always watching you. I love it. I love being pushed like that, and I love being a father.
What's up?
Coach Bud, Thomas Jefferson, Canarsie, South Shore. Any messages for them in the PSAL forays coming up for shock value? Because Hector says I got to get people to be shocked at the value.
I'm the wrong guy for that stuff. Yeah,
what does peace mean to you?
I think that peace is being in a space where you have perspective. Understanding what's important in life is peace. When you can come home and be satisfied with your decisions that you made that day, be satisfied with the way that you carry yourself and represent yourself and your family, I think that brings a level of peace.
Will we go to the bridge?
Okay.
Top 5?
Oh, yeah. I need your
this
top
is very
5.
astute.
Top 5 NBA players. You didn't play much street ball.
You know what's crazy?
You didn't play much street ball.
I did not.
At all.
Nah. I would go from Europe to Puerto Rico. So I'd be home.
Well,
for
you
like
did great because I went from Europe to street ball and my knees bust up. Right now I can't. I can barely walk. So you did great. What was that decision like? You didn't play street ball. Why? Did you get offers?
I didn't know how much money you guys were making. I would have known. I might have laced them up. I
Shout out to when I was 17, the first person to ever give me anything. Yeah. Shout out to Hustle Hard. Shout out to Mano.
I was coming out of pocket all those nights at Lotus. I could have just
went to a game, got at least 150.
Something. I would only be home for 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And I would just try to stay off because I'm running back to training camp in Slovenia or something like that. I didn't want to get hurt. I don't know if I regret it or not. I think I probably would have done the same thing.
It's nothing to regret. So I don't know if I can even ask you, but I can ask you from nostalgic. Who's top 5 street ball players? Because you're still from Queens. The culture is there. You know who's who. You know what's what.
So I'm a little partial. Like I thought, no disrespect, my boy Ryan Williams was part of N1.
Ryan Williams, baby.
My guys. But like I thought,
lucky lefty.
I liked street ball, but you're still hooping, right? I'm going to say Charles Jones.
CJ. Shout out to Charles Jones. Big
LIU,
TMP.
man.
TMP, baby.
Skip Booker, Charles Jones. I liked Alamo.
Black Widow.
God rest his soul.
Battlegrounds.
Number 5, street ball. And there's a guy from Queens, Seth Marshall. I don't know if you know.
I know Seth Marshall, of course.
I'm
Seth
going
Marshall.
Queens with the last one.
I would have went with Speedy Williams, but, right, shout out to Speedy.
Yeah.
He'll be up here.
Top 5 NBA before you get out of here.
Favorite or like the best?
Your top 5 who you think are the best 5 players to ever play in the NBA.
Active, you mean, or for all time for them?
All time.
All time.
My favorite player of all time is Chauncey Billups, but he doesn't get in there. Him and Kobe.
Why would Chauncey Billups be your favorite player? Because you don't play nothing like Chauncey Billups.
Thank you.
Nothing like you. A shooter, spot up, catch, shoot. If you make a one move, you were more like a Kerry Kittles, right? Kerry Kittles, Ray Allen, like one of those guys. I wouldn't say Chauncey Billups.
I was a shooter in college and high school. Overseas, I played point. I was more 6'4". So my game changed. I felt like I was a cerebral guy. I got respect.
First, best overseas moment of all time. Your best team that you played with overseas. When and where was it?
Played on some good teams. My favorite moment was probably winning a championship in Puerto Rico with my aggress. Winning a championship in Poland was really cool too. And third would be when I was in Germany, getting into the German Cup. Puerto Rico championship is my favorite moment for sure.
Top 5 NBA.
Mike, LeBron, Kareem, Magic. I'm going to say Kobe for selfish reasons.
Kobe Bean Bryant.
Yeah.
That's what's up. I feel like a lot of people in our era give Kobe that respect. But for me, it's either Mike or Kobe. You got it. It's like AI or Kobe. You got to, for me, it's either you're an AI fan or you're a Kobe fan. You couldn't be both. Right. I was an AI guy. Like, I was a shorter guy who could score, had braids. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was an AI guy. I would think you would be more of a Kobe guy than AI. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I was for sure.
You had to kind of pick and choose. But that's dope list. Thank you.
You guys.
This has been amazing. It's been a great day. It was great to have Mike walk in the building. M. Fidel, Northeast, Max Preps. You know how he does. And we're going to have him at the future events. Remember, we're going to lock you in on one of those dates. I don't care what you tell me. Figure out the schedule now. October 25th, December. One of them, I don't care. Bring the B team. They got to come out and represent and definitely show what the PSAL in Brooklyn is doing. It's so great to have you here, Kevin. I like what you've been doing at Eagle Academy, Brooklyn. And the city, Long Island, and the world is definitely going to know. They already do know. And we signing off for that, man. Bronx Tale Studios, Hector, Ballin for Peace, NYC Elite 32 Times